Welcome to Simple Baduk, and in this video we're gonna take a look at how to deal with black playing this kosumi B and this C attachment. The beauty of using Chinese opener and all the other openers is that when you use these openers and throw jabs like B and C, and your opponent doesn't know how to answer those jabs, then the game is probably going to end within the first 50 moves. Even if the white player knows exactly how to answer everything, the game is still going to be an even game. So you got nothing to lose. Just try Chinese opener or the other openers. Just like I said in the previous video, if you haven't watched it, please go do so. I said Chinese opener is still being used by professional players in their professional games. In pro levels, Chinese opener is used to get the game into mid-game as fast as they can, and in amateur games, Chinese opener still has the same function, but on top of that, a lot of amateur players don't know how to answer a lot of things. So if you can master one opener, then you probably can have a lot of fun playing Go. That's a lot of talking. Let's start the lecture. And when black plays this kosumi, the easiest way to deal with it is to play a two-space jump. Then black is probably gonna play this kosumi again, and from here remember you're not going to answer with this heavy move. Black is not going to extend, black is going to wedge over here. If white ataris from inside, as soon as black extends out, white is splitted into two groups. That's definitely not good. So white has no choice but to atari from outside. When black connects, white needs to connect, and black connect everything. Black has a lot of points and white has a cutting point over here and still not alive. So this is definitely a terrible result for white. That is why when black plays this kosumi, white needs to answer black with another kosumi. This way, black needs to connect everything back. Then white can play away. If white is still worried about these stones, then white can sneak in this move. When black answers, white can play away, and these are not going to die too easily. When white plays this kosumi, what if black immediately push and cuts? You don't have to worry about a thing because all you gotta do is atari and another extend, and all you gotta do is boom, boom, and play away. Or you can even jump down. This way, black's potential of growing any kind of moyo is gone, and black is split it in half, and even if black has a stone over here, this still doesn't seem really good for black, right? White has a complete, sexy thickness over here that awaits these two thin stones. When black plays this kosumi, if you want to be fancy, then you can answer immediately with another kosumi. This way, when black crawls on the third line, you're not going to extend, but to jump. When black plays this one, again, you're not going to connect, but to jump. What if black pushes? Just block. What if black pokes you? Just connect. What if black connects everything? Then first, you can poke. When black answers, you can play away. If you're worried about these stones, then you can again sneak in this move. When black answers, now you can play away. These stones are not going to die too easily. On top of that, later on in the game, white has this huge endgame left. When black crawls on the third line, if white wants to be extra fancy and the ladder is good for white, white can play this two-space jump. Why? Because black's cut doesn't work. This cut immediately turns into a sad ladder. So black cannot immediately push and cut, which means black can play this move. Then if white wants to be greedy, then black can cut now and the ladder now doesn't work. So white has no choice but to connect back. When black connects back, white can play away, or white can even, again, sneak in this move and then play away. Now let's take a look at what happens if black attaches over here. First of all, where would you play from here? If you're thinking this hane, congratulations, that is the answer. When black pulls back, where is white gonna play? If you're thinking this connection or this tiger's mouth, that is not the answer because either one, black is gonna answer you with this small knights. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna jump and black gets this, white plays this, black gets this? This is an acceptable result because white is not going to get attacked anymore, but black got to solidify everything over here. There is a better way to deal with it. Before we talk about the better way to deal with it, let's talk about this one. When white plays this connecting move, then black is still going to play the small knights. Usually this small knights is not good because white could play this one. When black connects, white can pull these two stones out. But since black has a stone over here, this thing doesn't work and black can fight these white stones, which means this small knight works. Then what's white gonna do? Jump, black solidify this area, boom, solidify this area. Although this is acceptable, but there are some better variations, so this is not good for white. When black pulls back, the easiest way to deal with it is to play these small knights. What if black cuts? Then we have a ladder. This ladder works great for white. Since this cut doesn't work at the moment, black has no choice but to come back and fix this corner. Then white can jump, force black to answer, and play away. If white wants to be extra safe, then again white can cap it and then play away. The reason this thing is better than whatever we have seen before is that white is very flexible and this thing is almost an influence. It's way better than whatever we had before. When black pulls back, a cool way to deal with this one is to play this weird move. What if black plays this one? Then white can play over here. If black tries to cut the connection, white can cut the connection too. First of all, this thing doesn't work because white can immediately Atari these two black stones. Then black can play this one, white plays Hane. When black plays this one, here is the tricky part. White could play this one, but it can get weirdly complicated, so white can first sneak in this jump. If black now answers this one, then this thing works because the reason this was a bit tricky is because black's this cut. Even if white plays here, black can immediately Atari and capture these stones. And there is some cooler variations, but that's very overcomplicated. So let's keep it simple. White jump, black answer. Now white can play this move to capture these three black stones. Now this cut doesn't work. All white has to do is just connect up, and this thing doesn't work. And you can see there's no way black can capture these stones, which means these black stones are dead, which also means all the white stones are connected. This is a very terrible result for black because black got split it into three parts. When black splits white, can white play this one? Then black is gonna cut white, white plays this, black captures this stone. Even if white gets to connect back, white got nothing in return but these 5 very heavy sticks. They're not going to get attacked too easily, but black got too much points in the process. So this result is not acceptable as the white player. When white jumps, what if black realizes what's going on and captures this stone? Then white can first block off, black cuts the connection, and white plays this move. Black has to capture these two stones, and this by itself is pretty good for white. If white is really worried about this nasty cut, then white can fix the cutting point and black can play away or secure this part of the board. If white gets a bit ballsy, then white can play something over here or over here to harass these two black stones. This result, although black got to get some points on the corner, but black also has no hope of growing a huge moyo because white has this great stick of white stones in the middle of the board. When white plays this move, what if black extends? Then white pushes. If black plays over here, then white can cut. If black Ataris, then white Ataris back. When black captures this stone, white captures these two black stones, and white is alive over here. On top of that, white has a great endgame left in this side. This is also an incredible result for white because first, white is pretty much alive, and black has no hope of growing any huge moyos from here. When white cuts over here, what if black secures this part? Then white can ladder this stone and What if black immediately cuts over here? Then all white has to do is just Atari, black extend, cut the connection, extend, cut the connection from here. If black blocks, then all white has to do is just cut over here. If black immediately captures this stone, then white can Atari. Black captures, white captures, very similar result from what we have seen before. This is really great for white. Now, what if black secures this part of the board? Again, all white has to do is just this Atari and ladder this stone out. Very good for white. When white plays here, what if black just extends like this? Then all white gotta do is keep extending too. If black immediately captures this stone, then white can secure it over here. This way, if black wants to keep this area, then black has to extend over here, which means white can control these stones and harass these two stones over there. From here, what if black tries to save this stone or save this area of the board? Then all white has to do is just Atari when black plays over here, and you can try to erase this area of the board. In this situation, what if black clamps? Then all white has to do is just connect up. Black connects everything, and white, this is a sente. Black needs to answer, and white attaches over here. First of all, black playing this hane is not going to work because white is going to cut, and white has this glorious stone over here. When black Ataris, white extend. If black extends, then this stone is going to die, which means everything is going to get connected. So black is not going to be able to play this Atari. Black is going to play this one. White Ataris, black extends, white extends. If black saves these two stones, then white is going to be able to capture these two stones. If black saves these two stones, then white, Atari, and these two stones are dead. So black playing this hane doesn't work, which means black needs to hane from the second line. And all white has to do is just keep extending. And this result is extremely good for white because although black got some points, these points are very small, but white got a very great influence and thickness outside, and this stone is gonna get hurt. Now let's take a look at the last one, which is black attaching over here. All white has to do is just hane. When black extends, white connects. First of all, this doesn't work because white can put over here and black cuts the connection, white cuts the connection. Again, black immediately cutting doesn't work because there's an immediate Atari. Even if black plays this one, boom, Atari. If black connects, boom, these three stones are dead. So this move doesn't work, which means black has no choice but to come back and fix these stones over here, get everything connected. Now white can come back and attach over here. And from here, black haneing is also not a good move because white can hane and black Ataris, white is gonna turn it into a ko. And this ko is pretty heavy for black and is very light for white. On top of that, even if white loses this ko, black is taking some extra points, but if white wins the ko, white is splitting black in half. So that is absolutely not good. On top of that, this is very early in the game. Black doesn't really have much ko threats out there, but white has some ko threats on this part of the board. So black really shouldn't expect to win this ko fight. That is why when white attaches, black's safer move would be just extending, and white can push one time and then play away. These stones are not going to die easily. When black attaches, what if white drags it into a small avalanche? Then, if everything goes according to the joseki, then of course it's gonna be good for white. This is the joseki from here. Black takes it, white takes it. This is obviously great for white. But since black has these two stones over here, there's no way black is going to allow that to happen. When white plays this tiger's mouth, all black has to do is this move. Then there's no way white's going to immediately cut because we have feed, Atari, and a ladder. That is why when black plays this move, white has to answer, which is this one. If white answers anything else, it's probably not good. From here, this is also a sentence because there is a feed and taking everything. So white has to connect from here. Black fills up the liberty of these two white stones. When white plays this, all black has to do is play this, and the corner is now black's corner. White is not completely alive, and black is super thick outside. This is an excellent result for black. So when black attaches white, bumping is not a good option because black got too many stones outside. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe. If you're interested in learning Go, then please visit our website simplebaduk.com. It's in the description below. This has been Z from Simple Baduk, and we will see you next time with some AI stuff.